Andrew McCart, IFLTV, delighted to be joined by Nisse Sauerland. Nisse, first and foremost, it's been a while. How are you, sir?
Doing very well, Lovely to be up here in Manchester. Good.
Well, you're in Manchester. Listen, I would like to talk about the Tottenham win at the weekend, but you've probably talked about that enough that you don't want to talk about it anymore, do you?
It feels great being in Manchester at the moment with so many Man United fans.
No,
I'm kidding. Listen, it was me and my brother out there with our kids. It was probably the best night of my life.
Good.
I tell my wife that, but yeah, it was definitely the best day of my life and night.
Is Ange staying then?
I love the guy, but I'm not sure.
No, sure. Let's talk boxing. I just want to jump straight into it. Like Harlem Eubank, Jack Catterall. Now Harlem Eubank's been, I think he's 21-0 now, and I've been at a lot of his fights recently, Newcastle, up and down the country where he's fought, and it's always been that. When I've chatted to him, is where's that big breakout fight? He's got it now against Jack Catterall. Is this Harlem Eubank's coming out party?
I hope it is. Look, I think people often rush fighters a bit too fast. Harlem needed that McKenna fight. There was a bit too much of a bridge to go from Timo Schwarzkopf to, or I can't remember the guy, the Argentinian geezer he fought before. It was a scrappy affair. But to go from that to a Jack Catterall, you need to bridge that gap. Yeah. And I think we did that. He proved himself. He deserves this fight. And he's got it all to do, obviously, against a world-class operator in Catterall. But we don't come to lose. We come to win.
Was it an easy decision because he said he picked Jack Catterall, or he was after Jack Catterall. Was it an easy decision for yourself and the team to say, yes, Jack is the one? So what is it that you've seen in Jack where you think we can beat him? Because Jack has proven himself at world level, and like I said, Harlem's yet to be there. So why Jack Catterall?
I think timing. A lot to do with timing. I have to say that we signed, announced, did a mini press conference at the Johnny Fisher fight, all within 6 days, I believe, which is for this size of a fight, which I expected to sell out the AO arena. That's pretty unheard of. Obviously it goes to our working relationship with Frank and Matchroom, but also to the fact that Harlem just wanted to fight. There was no quibbling over this, that, and same with Jack. It was like, okay, we don't want an 18-foot ring. Okay, 20-foot ring it is. Just stuff like that, which sometimes you can go on for ages. Like Jack was like, okay, what weight? We want 147. Yeah, 147, no problem. So it goes a lot to say about this fight and the fact that both these fighters want to actually be in there, and there was no playing games. We're doing this fight. It's a good, honest fight between two warriors. I compared it to Kessler Froch up there. Two guys who don't need to go out there. They don't need to chat absolute bollocks to sell a fight. And I think that sometimes it's kind of unheard of in boxing at the moment. Yeah, and I kind of enjoyed being up there where it wasn't this, that. It was clean, pure. Your kid could have watched that press conference. There was no swearing. They acted like gentlemen, which they are. And, they're going to fight. They're going to be very aggressive in there. They're going to be very violent. But at the end of it, they're going to hug.
And that's what boxing is about.
That's what boxing's about. It is, people laugh at me when I say it's the biggest gentleman's sport. But it is. What other sport do you pound the shit out of each other and then at the end hug?
That's why I say there's no honest conversation in the world than two men fighting it out and then hugging it at the end.
Mano a mano.
Exactly.
And you see the footballers rolling around, time wasting, crying, and listen, I love football.
You're a Tottenham fan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we did a lot of that time wasting on last Wednesday, I'll tell you that. But at the same time, it's nothing more honest, Joe. Nothing more honest than boxing.
Definitely.
Obviously not the business side.
Well, the business side, that's where you come in.
But we're not going into that.
No, we're not going into that because I don't know nothing about the business.
You have enough tape?
No, I don't even know nothing about the business. You mentioned there not playing games and this, that and the next thing, but somebody was playing games up there, and it was Sam Jones with the sheriff badge and the monocle, and Sam Jones is Sam Jones. What did you make of all that? That was quite fun, right?
I think it kind of fell on deaf ears, to be honest. I think Sam wanted to be the centre of attention, but it didn't really work out that way, did it? I have no idea what he's doing.
Sam Jones being Sam Jones. going to the fight itself, when you look at the 147-pound division and the world champions up there, the Brian Normans and the Boots Ennises, if he stays at 147, that is, how soon, if Harlem does beat Jack Catterall, you mentioned about bridging the gap. Now, is that a fight you take straight after Jack Catterall, these world champions, or are you bridging the gap one more time, getting up there another feel for the world level, or you go straight into the world title?
It's always a nice position to be in, right? Where you can say, oh, you know, I'm not going to take that Norman fight for X amount of dollars, or I'm not going to fight Boots Ennis. Focus on Jack Catterall, win that, come together as a team, decide on next move. You know, I hate to be boring, but there's so many names out there. You know, there's also like welterweights out there that you never know. We might go back down and we might find a catchweight. We might do, you know, Conor Benn. Yeah, Conor Benn, what a fight. Yeah.
Well, that's why I was going to say that if
someone at his actual weight. Yeah.
And the Eubank name.
Yeah, exactly. Someone at his actual weight. You know, props to Conor. He went in there, he almost beat a middleweight. Yeah. So to see him fight Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
You know,
he might do it. He's crazy enough.
Amazing fight.
Yeah. One final one for me. Packed out AO Arena. Manchester fans always turn out. Jack Catterall's made this his home his last 4 or 5 fights. What's going to happen July 5th? Harlem Eubank, Jack Catterall.
What, do you want me to give an actual prediction?
Actual prediction, like a confident actual prediction. If I had to bet my house on it.
I don't think it will be a stoppage either way. I think both men are too proud. I think that Harlem will put in a great performance and win a points decision. Close fight, great fight.
I probably agree with you, to be honest with you, Nisse. Yeah. Nisse, I will be here fight week, so I'll see you in a couple of 4 or 5 weeks, and we'll have another chat. And
Cheeky cigar, yeah?
I'll bring you one this time.
Bring the Cubans.
I'll bring the Cubans this time. I've got a good New World cigar as well that you might
Dominican,
like. I've got a New World. I've got a New World one. I've got a couple of Nicaraguans that you might like, so I'll bring a couple of cigars down. We'll sit and chill.
Journeyman or cigars?
Cigars. Yeah, definitely cigars. No journeyman. Nisse, thank you very much, and I'll see you fight week. Thanks, mate.